Good evening, everybody. This is Mike Tedesco of Wrestleview.com.
And Victoria Tedesco.
Yeah. Back-to-back episodes with Victoria tonight. Oh, my God. Episode number 66 of the Post-Raw show. My goodness. We've had quite a few shows. We are very close. We're dangerously close to that special number.
Oh, gosh.
That Daniel Shale has been looking so forward to.
I know. I feel like if I'm not on that show, people will be disappointed.
You have to be on that show.
Yeah, I have to be on that show. Like, no matter what.
No matter what. I don't care if the baby's diaper explodes like it did right before we went on the air, and now we have another accidente happening. So Victoria will excuse herself because she's better at doing all that stuff than I am.
Well, also, too, we don't want what happened last night.
What happened again last night?
So there's this, it's called the boppy. For anybody who doesn't know what it's called, she pooped all over it. So
the boppy.
And then I had to clean it.
Oh boy.
So, and it's very important for her to
Well,
wear.
before you go and do that.
Okay.
Let's say hello to everybody in the chat room because we have a lively chat room that's been very patiently waiting for us to get here.
We have a baby. I'm sorry.
No, I know. Oh, I know. No, believe me. We this is a group of understanding individuals. These are the real. They are the real fans. Just like the Iron Sheik would say, they're the real. Okay? So let's say hi to the real.
Okay.
We got number one fan Quentin Walters in the chat room tonight.
Hello.
He's here. Oh, yes, he is. Hello, Queen Victoria, Princess Tedesco, and Mike.
And Mike.
You'll see Princess Tedesco in a few seconds. We're going to have to pick her up. James Lacerenza in chat room tonight.
Hello.
Mr. V. He says you should just troll Daniel and call it episode 68B.
Oh my gosh. Just never happens.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if Mr. V checked his Facebook Messenger yet, or he probably did. I didn't check mine if he responded. But I got something very special in the mail today.
What did you get?
You know you saw it.
I did?
Let me excuse me for 1 second.
Oh, yes. Sorry. I don't know where you put it.
Where did I put it?
I don't know where you put it.
It's right behind me. Yes. Bob Ross ornament. Bob Ross. There are no accidents. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. That's what
I love it. I love it.
I can't read it from the little
love
screen.
it.
But yeah, I bought that, and anytime I watch Bob Ross, I always think of Mr. V. So there you go. We have a Mr. V tribute on our tree. Here. Put him back. That's a better spot than where I put him last time.
Oh yeah, now I can see him perfectly.
Yeah, there you go. Yes, that's Mr. V on our tree there. Daniel Shell, of course. In the chat room tonight. The queen of Wrestleview is here. He says.
Here.
Nafis Sadat, our dear friend. The man.
Our
Nafis
supporter.
Is the man.
Our supporter.
Demetris Douros is in the chat room tonight. And hello to the Tedesco family from the other side of the Atlantic.
Hello.
Has Demetris been in our chat room before?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, well, I've heard of. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm sure he has.
Yes.
I'm sure he has. Billy Hefner, our dear friend in the chat room
our
tonight.
Brother.
He's our bro. Our brother. Nafisa calls him Robert Ross. I love that.
Oh my, that reminds me of me. I'm so like
Victoria.
Nafis. I do that all the time. I call everybody like by their like
everything
full
is
name.
by their formal Christian name.
Yeah.
It's like, good Lord.
I'm the same way, Nafis.
Andrew Elder in the chat room, our dear friend.
Hello.
We got so like anytime like if we're watching baseball, like who was that guy?
Bobby Wilson.
So
I call him Robert Wilson.
He was the backup catcher on the Angels like years ago, and she was just obsessed. She would not call him Bobby Wilson. She would call him Robert Wilson. So it just started going, Robert Wilson. And then it was never Joe Girardi. It was Joseph Girardi.
Yeah, everybody just called their full name.
Alexander Rodriguez.
Granted, maybe somebody's name is like, maybe, you know how it was Bobby Wilson? Maybe his name is actually Bobby.
I know.
And I'm calling it by their...
Well, like there's people named Kim that are just Kim. They're not Kimberly.
Yeah,
Kim.
yeah. Or there's people named John who are not Jonathan.
Correct. They're just John. Mashoon Walls in the chat room. Oh my God, I am sorry. I almost missed Mashoon Walls tonight. Very sorry, sir. I had to scroll up a little bit to see that. Anybody else that I missed? If I missed you, just say hello, and you know me. I will make sure I get to you. Well, we have.
Well, let me.
Oh, you're gonna do that? Oh, Dimitri says a couple times, guys, live. I always watch the show afterwards due to the big time difference. 6:36 in the morning.
Oh my gosh, Dimitri, you're like awesome. Like you're like super fan right now. I love it.
I hope we don't put him to sleep. That's what I hope. Jesus.
No, but if we do, I wouldn't blame him. Not not for our show, but because it's 6:30 in the morning.
Everybody in the chat room: Randall, Orton, Curtis Angle,
yes.
Robert Roode. Oh, well,
yes.
Robert Roode is already Robert Roode. But
yes.
Yeah.
Everybody. I'm telling you.
Robert Lashley.
Yes. Wait. Okay.
And Andrew Elder goes like Triple H is Paul.
It's Paul.
Say it. Give him the catchphrase. They haven't heard it in a while.
Hi, Paul.
We're gonna try to get a hi Paul. We're gonna try to. We're obviously we always get the information to call into any post conferences. When Worlds Collide happens on January 25th, we're gonna try to get another hi Paul in there for y'all.
Do you think like Paul misses me? I'm sure he misses me.
I think he does.
I think he's like, where's Victoria Tedesco?
I'm sure he
of
is.
Wrestleview.com.
Last time you were recovering from pregnancy, so you didn't get to call in to the last. You didn't get to call in the War Games.
No, you were hilarious though. You were like, you want to call in tonight? I'm like, I'm literally dying right now.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, but I mean, how many times a year do we get to talk to Triple H on the phone? She's like, I just pushed a placenta out. Leave me alone.
All right, it wasn't exact words, but essentially yes.
All
right, let me do my thing.
Mr. B goes Alan Jones Styles.
Yes, see, I'm telling you, it's going to catch on now.
It's going to be a thing.
Okay, let's do this tonight. As the show continues and we recap it, I want everybody to do the names like of the individuals that were in the match, their full name. It's a thing tonight now. All right. That's the essential theme of the show.
That's our thing.
That's our thing now.
That's our thing tonight.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. So while that's happening,
Jonathan Cash, because I'm wearing a Johnny Cash shirt.
Oh, she's wearing Johnny Cash shirt tonight. So
Jonathan Cash.
Well, pick up the little one. Let everybody see her real quick before you take off.
All right.
Just let her say hi, and then we'll start talking about this Raw, which was actually a very good Raw from Oklahoma City.
Your princess. Can you see
the
her?
microphone's in the way.
Can you see her? Oh,
right. She spit up.
No. All over Boppy again.
Oh no! Oh, poor thing.
Do you see the poop everywhere?
No. Oh! Oh my God!
I mean,
again, out the side. Okay, we can't show that on YouTube. I think they'll take us off for showing like roast. Oh my God!
Okay,
there's poop everywhere.
All right, well,
welcome to the joys of parenthood, everybody.
Okay.
No, she's literally got it just seeping out the sides. Oh my God, it's all over her leg. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera off of Victoria now. Oh my God.
I'll be back in like 10 minutes.
She'll be back in 10 minutes, she says. Holy crap.
Literally.
My. Okay. Oh God.
Oh God.
Good. That Boppy has a family. Damn it. Good God! What? This is my life. This is the realities of parenthood. You know, you could be doing a podcast and explosion could happen. This is crazy. Welcome to Poopomania tonight here on Wrestleview post Raw. I don't know if you can hear Victoria screaming in the background. Oh my God! We don't want us to get to anything. Oh God. So anyway, okay, let's talk about Raw from Oklahoma City because, good Lord. All right, so a lot of stuff happened on this show. It was a really good show, and I want to start off by talking about one of my favorite things from this show tonight, which was the 2-man booth with Jerry the King Lawler and Vic Joseph. So we've had the 3-man booth on Raw for forever. It just feels like forever. Like since I've been recapping Raw, it's always been the 3-man booth. Nothing with 2. If there was 2, they would send somebody out there. I think one time, Lesnar attacked all the announcers, and we had Byron Saxton attempting to do Raw by himself until they sent Jerry Lawler out to save him. Whatever happened to Byron, by the way? Where is he at? What is he doing? I don't know. But man, it is so refreshing to just hear 2 guys just going back and forth, and you don't have to try to fit in that third person, which always just felt like out of place. It just never felt right. It's just like, okay, well, we just need to have 3 people on this, and usually it was like, something to be progressive, like, okay, well, we have to have, if we're gonna have 2 guys, we have to either have someone who's African American or a woman, because we have to look like we are progressive. And it's not, it's not because they're putting them on because they truly think that they're talented and they deserve it. They're just putting them on there so it's like, hey, look, we're multicultural and this and that, da 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 da. And it's like, that's doing it for all the wrong reasons, which is usually what the company normally does. But you know how it is. But man, just them going back and forth. Jerry Lawler just telling a couple jokes and Vic Joseph feeding off of it and calling the matches, and Jerry Lawler coming in with well-timed analytics. Like, I was loving commentary tonight. Honestly, like when it was Cole, Corey Graves, and Renee Young, this show was a chore to watch, and it always will be. But having to listen to Cole and Corey Graves trying to just trip everybody up and be obnoxious, it turned a show that's normally a chore to watch anyway into an absolute slog. An absolute slog. Like Corey Graves trying to just fit in his jokes and crush Renee and crush Cole. It just got old. It got really old. So commentary is easily the best it's been in, I would say, years on Raw. On years. And it's only been 2 weeks. It's only been 2 weeks since they took Samoa Joe off the team. And Samoa Joe, by the way, was the only time the 3-man booth has ever been really good. Really, really good. So we got Sasha Banks in the chat room tonight. Hello, Sasha. Thanks for joining us. Can I get an autograph from your cousin Snoop Dogg? That'd be awesome. Michael Tedesco, Quentin Walters says. Oh my God. Yes, I guess so. Yeah. No one has any information on. No one has any Samoa Joseph. Oh my God, Samoa Joseph, hon. No one has any information on Byron Saxton. That's okay. All right. I'm going to wait for Victoria to get back to talk about the really big announcement with Brock Lesnar. So I'm just going to get into the matches themselves. I'm going to start us off with the United. So we had 2 championship matches tonight. One was for the Raw Tag Team titles, which I'll talk about in a few minutes, but I have to talk about Rey Mysterio and Andrade. I have to. Because it's basically a year ago this month that they figured out that Andrade is one hell of a hand. And Andrade in the ring with Rey Mysterio is absolute magic. Absolute magic. And they had another one tonight. United States Championship. This was everything that you want to see in a wrestling match. And honestly, I recapped, 10 hours of Wrestle Kingdom over the weekend, just because, and I normally, I've never seen a Wrestle Kingdom before. So this is I've watched like parts of them, but I never ever finish them because I usually fall asleep around too late, and it's usually on during a weekday. This is my first time ever watching a Wrestle Kingdom straight through. I have to say, I really enjoyed it. And just because it was on a weekend, I was like, you know what? I'm up. I'm a night owl as it is. I'm going to recap these shows and just see what happens. And I wound up, usually when I recap something, I watch it closer, and I really, really enjoyed it. I really, really enjoyed it. If you're not part of New Japan World, join it for, it's 9.99 yen, which is way cheaper in America. So it's a deal, just pick it up for a month, cancel it, and just check out these shows. They were really excellent. If you just enjoy the art of professional wrestling, you don't need to know who these guys are. You just need to watch the art. They were painting on the canvas. It was really, really good. I honestly thought, I was like, okay, well, I just watched all this like really good wrestling. Raw is going to be, it's just going to be there for me. I'm not really going to get to enjoy it. But you know what? These two kicking off the show, it shows that, good wrestling doesn't just exist in Japan. It's all over the place. We know this already, but even a simple little Raw match like that, just like, just pulls you right in. They did such a great job here. If Andrade now goes, yes. Demetra says, if Andrade now with the help of Charlotte improves his English, well, maybe we can see even more of a push for him. That's a really, really good. That's a really, really good idea. That does need to be worked on. It doesn't. That is a hole in his game. They have Zelina Vega for that, but they don't really use them that well to cut promos. there's a whole package there, but they're not really seeing it through. You know, like I want to see more from it. But if they let him in the ring, let him do his thing, this could be, it can be really good. And tonight it was really, really good. These two just had an absolutely phenomenal match. You know, Mysterio is in his 40s. This guy can turn back the clock, you know, and I say turn back the clock cautiously, because that implies that, you know, it's like he's an old timer who still got it, but he never lost it to begin with. You know, it's like WWE has basically spent the last year and a half that Rey Mysterio has been back, essentially, trying to convince you that, or has it only been a year? I think it's been a year and a half. I think he came back on on SmackDown 1000 or something like that. Mysterio is, they've spent all this time trying to convince you that Rey Mysterio is this broken down who can't go in the ring anymore and this and that, and then all of a sudden he pulls out, like, you know, classic matches, you know, with the help of his son leading him the way. He never lost it, you know, so it's like, you know, you got to kind of remind yourself that, yeah, this guy is just one of the all-time greats. They had a great match. A little bit of a false finish, so it led to the match being restarted. Mysterio hits Andrade with a Canadian Destroyer and pins him. Zelina Vega gets the feet on the ropes, and we get the match being restarted because the referee acknowledged his error, and we do that stuff. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this up for you so you can see the Canadian Destroyer, because I think she just went again. Yeah. Okay, so the baby just came back, and she definitely just went again in her pants. Great. All right, so there's the Canadian Destroyer. Everything they did was just super crisp. Every single thing they did. There was a scary moment in this match. I have to see if I could find it. I don't think I gifted, actually. Oh, here's another crisp spot. I mean, like, it's like, this is like 2003 Rey Mysterio right here. It's like, he's just really, really excellent. No, I didn't get to gif it. Did she go? No. All right. Yeah, they look great. Andrade is one hell of a base for Rey Mysterio. One hell of a base. But there was a scary moment where Mysterio gave him a hurricanrana over the top rope. Andrade kept hold of him, and then Mysterio gave him a hurricanrana or a victory roll head first into the steel steps. And it was weird because, like, Andrade took like a stutter step, and then he went full blast head first into the ring steps. And I was like, God, this guy is going to be freaking cut open. It's going to be wild. Andrew Aldridge asking if she's hiccuping. Yes, she is. Oh, Sweet Lou was here. He's got to be up super early tomorrow. So, Sweet Lou, good night. Enjoy. Hope whatever you're doing tomorrow is great. Okay, Victoria is back.
I'm just going to hold her for a little bit.
You're going to hold her for a little bit?
Because Boppy is destroyed right now. I might have to get a new Boppy Chulo.
Good stuff. All right. Yes, our Boppy Chulo is destroyed for the time being. All right. So I was just talking about Andrade and Rey Mysterio.
Oh, great match.
So yeah, this was just phenomenal. And at the end, Mysterio was really just, I mean, like, sunset flip into the ring post, sunset flip powerbomb of the ring post. The crowd chanting, "This is awesome." Finally, at the end of this, Andrade counters I guess what he was trying to do, a hurricanrana on the outside, and Andrade sends Mysterio into Zelina Vega. And then we had a little bit of a weird, he actually got Zelina Vega pretty good in the face right there. Just absolutely clocked her. Wow. She was holding her mouth at the end of it. I remember that. I thought she was selling, but yeah, she looks like she got rocked pretty good there. So the story they were trying to tell was, and I thought it was a little weird. Andrade got him in the ring, goes for the hammerlock DDT, and the referee literally steps in, like pulls Mysterio away so he couldn't hit him with the hammerlock DDT. And then he goes outside and checks on Zelina, gets back in the ring, and then he takes the hammerlock DDT. So it was just a weird finish.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting finish for sure. I like the idea of Zelina Vega accidentally getting knocked into, kind of adding that fuel to the fire, but that other part was kind of like,
It was just weird. I actually thought that because Andrade shoved Mysterio into, I think he shoved him in the ring post, and Mysterio got in the ring, and he was like kind of wonky a little bit.
Right.
And I thought, oh, maybe they're stopping this match. Maybe Mysterio got like a concussion, but he went outside, checked on Vega, and then he got back in the ring and took the DDT anyway.
Right.
So it was just weird that the referee stopped that with no real explanation.
Yeah. Do you think there will be an explanation or no?
I don't know.
Or it's just going to be like, whatever at this point.
I don't know, but I did like, a couple of weeks ago they kind of they had Andrade being mad at Zelina because she had screwed up something in the match and he wound up losing.
Right.
This week the commentators, believe it or not, were telling a story saying that Mysterio was the one who really cared about Zelina Vega's well-being and not Andrade. Andrade only cared about getting the win. So there's more of that storyline dissension here. It's kind of it's good follow up because I kind of forgot that they had been even had a problem.
But that's what commentators are supposed to do, and I think I heard you before when I was changing her. But you said that Vic Joseph and Jerry Lawler are just great together. Like, were you saying that?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah,
and it's true
excellent.
Because you need that backstory. You need more than just like those, like you said before, when Renee Young and Corey Graves are doing digs at each other and stuff like that. It's not about that. It's really about the individuals and the people and like what they're doing. And yeah, like you have the heel, you have the face commentators, great, but they're also supposed to bring some sort of like, information to give you, like to remind you of things and stuff like that. So.
Right.
What are you doing right now?
Oh.
I was like, what is going on? I was confused.
You look like you're in some faraway land.
I know.
I was trying to just move it up a little closer so they can see you. But yeah. James goes, so Lawler didn't tell 70-year-old knock jokes. No, he's been good. He has been good lately.
No,
during the wedding.
Great.
During the wedding last week,
he was my favorite during the wedding.
Phenomenal.
Oh my gosh, he's like, oh, this is my like.
Because he was just like a guy watching the thing, and he's like, oh my god, he's gonna come out now. He's like, I can't wait.
But that's what I'm saying. There's
and there was that one line about how he cried at all three of his weddings.
Yes, this is amazing, incredible,
so good.
No, but the whole point is, yeah, you're right. Like maybe there is something more to this whole Andrade Zelina Vega thing that is going to unveil. And that will come up in these next few weeks, which is actually a good thing because they need to kind of spice up that storyline just in general.
Yeah. And they also had a really cool little moment where he ripped off Rey Mysterio's mask.
Yeah. Oh, my
ripped off his mask, and he handed it to Zelina Vega almost as like a trophy, a little concession.
Right,
like,
right.
Sorry about that here, But this was just absolutely brilliant. Absolutely, just great wrestling. Just great wrestling.
That's what it comes down to with the two of them. It's just really good wrestling and the chemistry that they have in the ring overall.
Right.
You know when the two of them are in the ring together, it's going to be a good match.
Oh yeah, yep, absolutely. So let's talk about the big news from tonight.
Ooh, the big news.
Well, I mean, Well, I guess that could be interpreted two different ways. We'll save the main event for later.
Yes.
But the big news is that Brock Lesnar kicked off the show tonight with Paul Heyman, the WWE champion Brock Lesnar. And by the way, everybody's kind of saying like Mask will be on the line at some point with Rey Mysterio and Andrade. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hair versus mask, Billy says.
Ooh.
That's a good one. Anyway, so Lesnar comes out with Paul Heyman. Crowd's booing them. And Lesnar, I'm sorry, Heyman says, well, Happy New Year to you too, bitches. I was like, that was good. Paul Heyman knows how to...
He knows how to work it. Let's face it, he knows exactly how to work the crowd, so that pushes her buttons.
Nafis Sadat calls him Brockhold Lesnar.
I love it.
And Paulus Heyman.
Hi, Paul.
Paulito Heyman. Anyway, Heyman goes, Lesnar asked him recently, who he thinks should face him in the Royal Rumble. And, or Heyman asked him, or I forget how it goes. And he goes, no one is worthy or capable enough of sharing the spotlight with him. So they're going to do something that can be legitimately advertised as first time ever. They said The Undertaker couldn't be defeated at WrestleMania. His client conquered The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. No beast could be NCAA heavyweight champion, UFC champion, WWE Heavyweight Champion and WWE Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, Brock Lesnar. There's a universe that Brock Lesnar has not conquered yet, and the dream match at the Royal Rumble is the fact that Brock Lesnar will be in the Royal Rumble. And not only that, Brock Lesnar is entering the Royal Rumble as the number 1 entrant. And he will be the last one to leave the ring. That's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. I initially thought, the way they made it sound, that this is going to be for the title. That, no single person is worthy to step in the ring with him for the title. So he's going to put it on the line with everybody. But no, the way WWE has it right now is the title is not on the line. Lesnar is just going to enter the Royal Rumble, win it, and have no challenger at WrestleMania.
But do you think, though? So do you think it will change, or they will keep it like that?
I believe they're going to keep it like that for now. But open to change closer to the Royal Rumble. I would say so. And because they did the prediction, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler thing. And the only time that's ever been wrong was at SummerSlam 2018, when Roman Reigns finally beat Brock Lesnar. Because they built that whole entire thing up. And Paul Heyman said, he's not a liar, I'm not a liar. It's not a prediction, it's a spoiler. Right. This is going to happen. Undertaker got beat. Roman Reigns got beat multiple times. Finn Balor got beat. Everybody gets beat. But that's the one time Roman Reigns did beat him. Mm-hmm. So normally when he does that, it's the truth he's telling. I actually think that Brock Lesnar could very well win the Royal Rumble. And all of a sudden, Elimination Chamber in Philadelphia, which we're going to. Which is funny. Which is awesome. Becomes so much more important because it's going to have to determine who is going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I would assume, and probably Bray Wyatt as well. So I think I agree with you. If they go that route, it's kind of more interesting than just somebody else winning. Yeah. What Heyman said tonight obviously changes the whole dynamic and anything, because last night, even when we were having dinner and we were talking about who we thought was going to win the Royal Rumble, right? These are our dinners. We said either Roman Reigns or Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre, you said mostly would probably be like one of the last few people in there. I said if Drew McIntyre didn't win it, he's going to be the last one eliminated. Right. But Roman Reigns. But now that Brock Lesnar has entered and he's the first, and obviously it's very just legendary for him, right? Yes. Then this does change it, where you have multiple options here. He wins, currently no challenger, or he doesn't win, and then, obviously, whatever, he has somebody who challenges him. Right. Which I think it would be interesting if he won now at this point. I really do. I like the whole idea of him not coming in at number 30 and being a surprise. I like this whole thing of, we know he's the first one in. Yeah. So what is he going to do to destroy these other individuals? And it's going to be a lot of people he's just going to throw out of the ring immediately. Yeah. I could almost, which I love that. I could almost imagine that the first couple of people that come in the ring, well, it'll probably be Brock Lesnar versus somebody big, I would say. Right. Just so there's actual match. And so let's say, for example, it's Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns 1 and 2. Right. So they duke it out for a little bit. Obviously they don't get eliminated. Then number 3 is No Way Jose, gone. Number 4, Mojo Rawley, gone. Number 5, think of Robert Roode, gone. Immediately. Yeah. And then finally, before you get number 6, which is the Big Show or something like that. Something, yeah. No, Heath I agree. Slater, Andrew Elder says number 2. Yeah, no, true. But it makes the whole Royal Rumble completely different now, not typical. Right. Now it's unique. There's something, and who knows, or they go the other route where they put the title on the line during the Rumble. It could. Well, who even knows if even at that day they're they change it where the title's on the line. They've done stuff like that before. Paul Heyman comes out, and just changes things up. At WrestleMania, it's okay, well, we're not going to wait till the main event because, we just want to get this stupid thing over with. Right. And then Brock Lesnar winds up losing. I think if Lesnar's not going to be in the main event, he's not going to be in the middle of the show. He's going to kick off the show. Now, another question, because since this whole thing is happening, do you think this will be the main event and not the Women's Royal Rumble? Oh, this is the main event. Right? Last year, the Men's Royal Rumble was the main event, too. Right, but you know how they've been trying to... It's been pretty fair lately, I think. In
I
fact,
think it's been fair, but
in
I
fact,
just
it's almost gone to the point where it's like, okay, we're putting the women in the main event now a little.
Oh, I totally,
too much.
I totally agree with you, but I didn't know if
where
they
there
were
are
going
better matches.
No, I totally agree with you 100%.
Like see Survivor Series, CTLC,
right? But I was just thinking, like, if to be honest with you, if Brock Lesnar wasn't doing this now, I could see them putting the Women's Royal Rumble as the main event.
Yeah,
possibly.
I mean, it would be a toss-up for which one you put in the main event if Brock Lesnar wasn't in this.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have a wrong answer, essentially.
Right.
Now, there's not, to me, right now, there's not like a clear, there's not like a clear spotlight on what woman is going to win the Royal Rumble. No. Like to me, there's a couple of contenders, obviously, in the men's, but like I don't see anybody who's like being focused on super strong.
No, I don't either.
That would go on to win the Women's Royal Rumble. So we'll see. But that probably just means that, you know what? If the Women's Rumble is in the main event, Ronda Rousey's winning it. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, because I don't think she's pregnant. So
no, she's not pregnant.
No.
And yeah, if Brock Lesnar's on in the middle of the show, Ronda Rousey's coming back.
Yeah, then
Ronda Rousey still very well might come back.
But like you said,
I think if they're going to bring her back with the money that they would pay her,
that would be interesting for sure. Yeah, I love this whole Brock Lesnar thing.
Me too.
I love it. And
Demetrius actually thinks Nia Jax possibly.
Yeah, because she's been gone a long time now.
She's been gone a long time, but her knees were pretty banged up.
Yeah, she said on the show her goal is to come back by WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but you never know.
But usually they say that and then they come back. It's like, oh my god.
Sooner, yeah, exactly.
Machine Wall says, "We'll be Wyatt." Of course.
We'll be Wyatt.
Daniel Shell, reckless speculation. Well, that's what we do on this show, buddy. Oh, Quentin Walter says Shayna Baszler could win the Royal Rumble. Now that is a huge possibility.
That is a big possibility.
I would love to see Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler one-on-one. They had that sit-down interview before Survivor Series that was like super red hot. The last time that I've been interested in Becky Lynch, and that was a couple months ago. So we'll talk about Becky in a little bit here. But yeah, this stuff with Brock Lesnar, it's pretty newsworthy.
Newsworthy and fun and interesting.
It's fun to consider the options that could happen.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what you want. This is what you want for WrestleMania season. You want to be talking about possibilities and, I want to see this and I think this could happen. Like this is a good time to be a wrestling fan right now. It's a good time to, to dream and all that stuff. I think
the interest level
because they're trying to fool you and they're trying to fool people that are trying to think of like the matches like they they would most want to see around this time. So
I think the interest level for it totally piqued my interest even more so than I was initially with the Royal Rumble. So
right, like I like in like WrestleMania season to like theories theories of like fan theories about Star Wars and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like, okay, you have these people trying to write a movie that has to be appeal to a worldwide audience and has to be true to the Star Wars, genre. So like, you read these these fan theories that are online. It's like, okay, well, if these people are guessing that, then we have to go outside the box. Sometimes it doesn't work out. There have been some Star Wars films that have not been good because they're so busy trying to swerve the fans and try to do something that no one has guessed that it winds up
backfiring
on them.
Yeah.
WWE is in the same boat here, because there's a lot of people like us sitting around, talking about, what they'd like to see, what they're hoping to see, what their dream matches are. And then they have to try to deliver those things and make it interesting and make it appeal to a worldwide audience. The ones that aren't as heavily invested into it as we are online.
Right.
So it's a hell of a struggle, but most of the time they hit a home run. There have been some WrestleManias that have absolutely sucked, and they've all kind of happened in the last few years and stuff like that. But every year this time I get excited, and that Lesnar announcement and dreaming of possibilities and trying to work out WrestleMania season in your head. That's
fun.
That's what I live for
fun
as a wrestling
stuff.
fan. That's what I live for as a wrestling fan. So very, very cool. All right. Moving on, we already talked about the U.S. title match. We're a little out of order, but Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe says that he has a partner, for tonight. He's not revealing who it is, and Owens is confused as to who it is. They're going to face Seth Rollins and AOP. This will be the first time that Seth Rollins and AOP have teamed up on television to do anything. So I'm like, well, whoever their partner is, they can't win because Rollins and AOP can't be losing right now.
Right.
So I figured I knew immediately it was going to be a DQ finish. So when that actually happened, I was not disappointed. We'll talk more about that in a few. But yeah, there was actually like another weird Charlie Caruso thing, of course, but anyway.
We're not going to go on a Charlie Caruso rant.
I'm not going
tonight.
on a Charlie Caruso rant tonight.
Not tonight.
Nope. This show is too good. I am not going to rant. There's no reason.
There's no
rant.
reason for it.
There's no reason because it's not going to get any better.
No. All right. You're already getting on a rant. Let's
totally useless.
Nip it in the butt.
It's not her fault, I'm sure. It's the way.
Nip it.
That's what they.
Nip
okay.
it.
That's what they think.
It's done.
Okay. Street Profits versus the OC versus the Viking Raiders for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Triple threat. They worked hard. They did stuff.
They did stuff.
They did. I can't say they didn't do stuff. They worked hard. They did stuff. Triple threat tag team matches suck.
I can't stand them. I just don't. I never see the point of them. I really don't.
They worked hard. They did stuff. They did some dangerous things, and it sucks.
It does.
And it sucks because they're handcuffed by these ridiculous, this ridiculous match structure.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's not them.
And wrestling's
it's not the tag teams itself.
And wrestling's not real. There's no rule book that says, okay, well, a triple threat tag team has to have only 2 people in.
Right. I just, you know what it is? I just never saw the purpose of you have the 2 people. And then, why on earth would they tag another team? It just doesn't make any sense.
Right, and they did it. They did it. And one time it made sense where it was he was getting the guy was getting pummeled, and then I think he tagged in Eric.
Yes, of course. There's always gonna be times where it makes sense, but overall it doesn't make sense.
Right.
When you actually think and look at it and dissect it, none of it makes sense. All 3 guys should be in the ring. And that's the end of it.
I agree.
Because it leaves that... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say the only way that, for me, it could make sense to have 2 people out of 3 teams in the ring is if it's an elimination match. So it would always have to be a triple threat elimination match because it's then it's it's worth it to tag somebody else in because it's okay, well, I hope they lose.
Exactly. But otherwise, it really doesn't make sense. And... if you have the 3 guys in the ring at the same time, it leaves the whole element of surprise of as if to say who's going to attack, and you never really know what to expect. You never really would know who's going to attack you from behind.
Right.
You always got to be on your feet. You always got to be energized. You can't just there can't be a lull part of the match.
Correct.
But when you have triple threats like this, there's always going to be lull parts, and there's always the spots and everything else. I felt like it was like a spot match. They just did stuff to do stuff and
that's it,
to entertain the crowd, which is fine. But these are legitimate tag teams, so
these are great tag teams.
Exactly. So there's no reason to
I don't feel like the Street Profits got to briefly shine in the match, but I'd like to see Montez Ford in there with 2 other guys and hitting high drop kicks and this and that, but they do the 2 guys so that they can have their rest hold.
Right.
It's like when you have a triple threat singles match, it's okay, so we can't tag somebody out, so somebody always spends somebody just takes a forearm to the face, which nobody ever goes down for, and they're outside the ring for 10 minutes while the other 2 guys are doing
right. Any other singles match that no one would be that long, but every time it's a triple threat match, somebody's always down as long as they are.
As soon as a triple threat match, it's okay, well, I'm dead. I'm dead.
Now this move is just
time for me to take a nap.
Right. Really? No. They didn't do anything wrong.
It's just lazy. That's really what it comes down to.
No one did anything wrong in the match. It's just because again, these are great tag teams.
Yeah. Demetrius says, by the way, Demetrius is killing it in the chat room tonight. But finally, we really have good tag team division, and also with the NXT guys, Undisputed Era and Imperium. A couple years ago, we were complaining because of lack of ideas. So that is a good thing to focus on. We do finally have talent in the tag division. There's just still some things that could absolutely be improved upon. In my opinion.
Yeah, no, the talent's there. That's not.
It's just the focus.
Question.
It'll always come down to the focus.
It's just how, again, the execution.
Yeah.
It's always the execution.
Exactly. Well, I have to say, they have not done a good job with the execution of the Becky Lynch presentation lately. She hasn't been interesting since before Survivor Series. Had a bad match at TLC. They've kind of kept her off of television a little bit. You know, she challenged Asuka, got her match against Asuka, but really not much. Well, she came out tonight and did a promo, and it wasn't good.
Here's my thing. I think with Becky Lynch,
Rebecca Lynch, by the way.
Oh yes, Rebecca Lynch. Sorry, I'm already like not following my own rules tonight. I think that with her, they're lazy now. And the reason why, because I was trying to reflect and think about like why is it that like, you know, she's because she's had good like promos and she's had a lot of heat and great things happen to her. Obviously, she wouldn't be in the position she's in if she didn't. But I really thought about it, and I think what the problem is that they got lazy with her. I think they thought with her being like mainstreamed and everything that people now are starting to recognize her for who she is, and she's got this whole gimmick as the man and all that stuff, that they thought that would just kind of like hold over. But it's not. And what needs to happen, unfortunately, she still needs to continue to work hard for her to continue to be in the position that she is as this, you know, mainstream, strong female woman in WWE. You can't assume that everybody, you know, is just going to know who she is and that they're automatically just going to be engaged in what she's doing. It doesn't work that way. You have to continue to evolve. You have to continue to do different things just so that and different elements to your character just so people are interested.
Yeah,
you can't, you know.
I do agree with that. I do agree with that. It's like it's almost like they did all they could with her, and like it was almost like time to take the belt off her, and they just kept it on her. So it's almost like this reign should be over, and it's just continuing on. Now they could definitely save it with the Asuka match. You know, I know that they're gonna go and have a good match. They had a good match last year at the 2019 Royal Rumble, and there is history here. She has not beaten Asuka yet, so it's there. It's there. The story is there. It could get really good. I didn't like her promo to start off this segment, you know, because she's like, oh, you know, maybe I bit off more than I could chew, blah, 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 blah. Asuka comes out shouting in Japanese, gets in her face. And then they bought me back with this. She gets in her face. And Becky Lynch just lays her out with a straight right hand. I was like, okay, I can deal with that. Got the crowd going. They liked it. And I was like, okay, that was a solid thing.
So that for you is a solid, like a good point.
You know what? It's not how you start; it's how you finish, and that's the last thing that they're gonna see from that. She looked really cool. You know, that's what you want. You want her looking good. You want her looking, you know, not in boring matches with Natalya. You know,
I agree, but
not in crappy TLC matches that are just there just to be there.
And there is potential here, but even though they had a great match last year, I'm still a little worrisome about this whole thing because of what's been because Becky Lynch has kind of like lost her luster for me a little bit. I know you said it's not about how you started to how you finish. I kind of have to disagree only because to me, like, her character is supposed to be like, I'm the man, I'm the whatever. But for her, when she's saying I bit off more than I can chew with her, I don't think it was humbling. I think it just sounded cowardly a little bit.
Yeah.
So I really didn't like that. It almost seemed like, you know, she's not going into it headstrong like a man, like, you know, it didn't seem to flow with her character.
Yeah, to me, at the end of it, I was almost thinking that she did that promo just to kind of goad Asuka out there or whatever. You know, that's a story that will need to be told. The one thing I do like about this feud is that there's the language barrier here, and Asuka is established as somebody who just shouts in Japanese. So we're not going to get any long, boring promos.
No, and that's definitely a plus.
It's got to be physical angles.
I love that. I do. And Asuka's amazing with that because she, you know what's funny about her is that she could do a face or heel when she goes into those little tangents and everything. So that's what I like.
You know what was even more amazing than that?
What?
Erick Rowan's match.
Oh my gosh.
I love everything about Erick Rowan. I don't give I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. Judge me. Do whatever.
Come at me, bro.
Come at me. Erick Rowan is my favorite thing in WWE right now. By far. By far. He is so much fun. I love trying to guess what's in the cage. I love that they're giving the cage a little more of dimension this time around. They had Mojo Rawley backstage. He's like, come on, man. I just need to know what's in the cage. He goes, all right, fine. He finally acquiesced. Like, everybody's been asking him what's in the cage. Now he's finally giving a little, go ahead, take a look. Mojo takes a look. He's like, falls back. He goes, what's wrong with you? Runs off. Rowan goes out and faces a jobber and immediately throws the jobber out of the ring. And he's like, you're going to look at this. You're going to like, I was like, God, this must be like what it was like to be in Harvey Weinstein's office or something like that. It's like, you got to look at this. It's like, no, I don't want to. And it's like, and then he tries to get the jobber in there. The jobber runs away and challenges him to a match. Rowan immediately kills the guy.
Oh my gosh.
Throws him out of the ring.
Gold.
And then shoves his face into the cage. And the guy comes out with his face covered in, I guess, with what looked like blood. And he ran away like Scott Evil runs away in Austin Powers. And I almost felt like saying, like, yeah, nobody else in my gene pool runs like that. You know? But like he was like running. He's like, he was like really like, he was just like, the guy was terrible. It was so much. It was so much fun to watch. It was so much fun. This Erick Rowan thing is by far.
Oh my God, it's incredible.
It's amazing.
It really is. I love that this week with the whole, like, people actually saw the cage now, and they're like, and like you don't see the cage, but you know what I mean, that they saw what was in the cage. I can't with him.
I know.
He sells it so well too. Sells it so well. Do you think they know what's in the cage yet, or are they just going with it yet?
I do not think that they have figured out what's in the cage.
I don't think so either.
I don't think creative has any idea what they want to put in the cage. It could be the head of Luke Gallows. It could be anything. I don't know.
It could be anybody at this point. And let's ask Wrestleview audience. What do you think's in the cage?
What do you think is?
Put your thoughts in the comments below.
Oh, Andrea says, so did the thing in the cage bite the guy, or did it spit something on him?
Who knows?
That's a good one too.
Who knows?
Maybe bit his nose off. Maybe that's what they're trying to say. But anyway, they didn't. They never really.
But tell us what you think it's in the cage.
Andrew says, "I just hope it's not a spider." Could be. Quentin Walter says, "Head" from Al Snow. Al Snow is a mannequin head. That would actually be pretty cool. I'd love to see that. Maybe it's Damien. Jake the Snake Roberts' snake. Biting worms, Michoud Walls. 1,000 pounds of Harlem sewer rats. The hand. Billy Hefner says Mae Young's hand. ST Leppy, a camera. Oh, that'd be something. But I don't think we've ever had ST Leppy in the chat room before. Hello, ST. Nice. Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Yeah. So I am intrigued, to say the very least. I love everything about this. What is in that damn cage?
I don't want it to end.
It's like, I almost don't want it to end. I am afraid of the payoff, because you know what happens every time I get excited about something.
I know.
Were we doing this show when? No, we weren't doing this show when.
When what?
When like it was like, who's Kurt Angle been on the phone with? Who's on the phone with? And it's gonna reveal like this big secret, and winds up Jason Jordan.
Oh no, we weren't. No, we definitely weren't on the show.
Weren't on the air for that.
Because I definitely would have been like, what the heck? Like who? Like we would have been like, who is this guy?
Yeah, so needless to say, I've been disappointed before in storyline arcs.
Haven't we all been disappointed?
Yes, and I need to gear myself up more to be disappointed, but I can't. I am just dreaming and having some fun. Oh, Jim Ross's cowboy hat from the Dr. Heine skits when Linda was running for Senate. That'd be something. That would be something. Quentin Walsh says a bunch of Liliana's poopy diapers. that would scare somebody.
That would scare somebody.
That would scare Andrew Elder, a honey badger. Oh boy, now we're getting crazy. I like it. I like where this is going.
Me too.
Now, this next segment you would think would be a throwaway jobber segment again. So we would have back-to-back jobber segments, but no, It was Akira Tozawa versus AJ Styles, and yes, it was heading the direction of just another jobber session because AJ Styles. So after all this with the Randy Orton thing last week, him faking the injury, and they were going to, oh, I'm going to be out for a long time. I just hope I can make it to WrestleMania. And then he says, I'm not that patient. You would think, okay, it's an angle to at least set up a match at the Royal Rumble. No. It was they did this whole stupid angle so we could set up a match on Raw next week. Are you kidding me? A match that Randy Orton already won. He already beat AJ Styles on the show before, the week before Christmas. And then AJ Styles beat him in a tag match. And it wasn't like he was ducking him. Since they acknowledged the live event that he got injured at, since they acknowledged that, I guess it's okay to acknowledge that he was facing AJ Styles in that match. So basically what it comes down to, like I said last week, is that they didn't have enough faith in the wedding to draw people in, so they decided, okay, let's try to glom as many people into watching third hour as possible and fake a Randy Orton injury. And then, we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna throw the wedding on pretty much right after that, and people will stick around because gotcha. It was a ratings ploy the entire time. No storyline at all. Randy Orton was even on the show this week. That's what we did that for. There you go. Awesome. Even though I think Randy Orton's on vacation.
Bravo, Mike. Bravo.
It's just
bravo.
Dumb.
Well explained.
Dumb.
Well rant.
Dumb.
I love your rant.
Dumb.
I have nothing to add. I agree with you 100%.
It's just dumb.
It was dumb.
It's just like, it's just gross.
It's just dumb. It's just gross.
That's just the stuff that, like, it's like WWE does so much, they try to do so much right for, like in this day and age, they do the charities and all that stuff, and then they just do something where it's like, hey, don't forget, we're still trashy entertainment. Fox, you paid $1 billion for trash.
Gotcha.
Well, anyway, that's not to say
joke's on you.
That's not to say that this match stunk with Akira Tozawa and AJ Styles, because he hit him with the phenomenal forearm like almost immediately, and then he picked the shoulders off the mat, hit Orton's draping DDT, and then hit an RKO that I dare say was on par, or maybe even better, than Randy Orton. AJ Styles just does everything so great. That was a great RKO. It was really, really great. I could watch AJ Styles change his entire move set to Randy Orton moves.
Day, every day.
In fact, that's what I hope happens next week when they face on Raw.
He just everything Randy Orton.
Hits Orton with a draping DDT. I hope he gives him a punt that sends his head
just mimics
15 rows back.
Everything Randy Orton.
I hope he drops down. I hope when he comes out he does the thing on the turnbuckle.
That would be awesome. That would be a payoff to this whole thing.
That would be a very good payoff.
Just like mimicking, it's just AJ Styles, Randy Orton, but AJ Styles does it 100 times better.
Yeah, that would be great. Randall's KO.
Randall. Oh, and who said what AJ Styles was?
Alan. Well, his real name, Alan Jones.
Right. Alan Jones Styles.
Yeah. Actually, we should call Randy Orton, since RKO is his initials. Randall Kenneth Orton. Or is it Randall Keith? I think. I'm not good at Wikipedia. I'm just gonna go with Randall Keith.
Okay.
So Randall Keith Orton. Next time we talk about him.
Wait, who did we talk about before? Did we do before? Erick Rowan.
Erick Rowan.
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
Is there anything for Eric than Eric?
Erickson. I don't know. I don't know.
Erickson Rowan.
I don't know. Well, anyway, Billy Hefner says maybe it'll end in a DQ and we can still get a Rumble match. But yeah, it was a glom. It was a glom job. So there you go. But still, if we get AJ Styles, an angry AJ Styles doing an RKO,
Alan Jones, yes,
I'm down with that. Alan Jones. Wedding highlights from Bobby Lashley and Lana. They never got married.
Okay.
This is the best part of this entire thing. Victoria's gonna take you through it.
Wait, no, real quick. Okay, before we even address that, Rusev called Bobby Lashley Robert Lashley.
No, he called him Bob.
No, but then he said Robert at one point.
Did he? Oh, I didn't.
He did.
Okay.
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but he said Robert, and I said something to you. I'm like, he said Robert.
Yeah.
But then he called him Bob.
Yeah. So there's that. Was that the same preacher from last week?
Yes, it was.
It was, okay.
Okay,
so
I noticed
this is a New York City actor that they flew out to Oklahoma City for continuity.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
So the best part about this segment happened in a flash you wouldn't even believe.
Okay. So right after AJ Styles was leaving the ring and he's walking up the ramp, then the officiant comes into the ring, and he gets attacked by security guards. And I said to Mike, I go, "That's the officiant." He goes, "No, it's some random guy who went into the ring." I go, "No, that is the officiant from last week." I was like, "I know it." And then sure enough, who was right? Who was right? I called it. I freaking called it.
Yes.
So screw you. And I called Lana's ring. I'm like, "She's wearing a wedding ring." And you're like, "No, she's not. That's her engagement ring."
I thought it was.
Well, no, it was a wedding ring, and I saw that. I knew she was going to talk about it. So, haha.
Well, they weren't married yet. So
doesn't matter. She was
so
still.
It was still an engagement ring until they kissed.
No, because she had the wedding ring already on, so it was her wedding ring. So boo-hoo, screw you.
Wow, Jesus, wow.
I'm sorry. I was just really happy that it wound up being the officiant because I'm like, I knew it. I knew it was the guy who got attacked. I knew it.
He did.
They
took him down pretty good. So. He got a little. I guess he got excited, and he was like, "Okay, well, they said after that guy in the red tights leaves the ring, that's when I get in the ring and do my segment." So I guess he was like, "Okay, well, he left the ring. Time for me to get in the ring." And I guess they thought he was a fan and just tackled this guy pretty good.
It's just like when Maurice came in after Zack Ryder.
Yeah, like
and
when
then that lady
they stopped Maurice.
Yep.
And Rob Gronkowski.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
WWE security is like, don't mess with them.
No, really.
Do not mess with them.
I should just lie though. Like I should just go into the ring and be like, "No, I'm on the next segment." You don't know, like, and just see what they do.
I remember like in 2002, Edge and Eddie Guerrero were having a ladder match, and Eddie was just getting ready to win. He was climbing the ladder and getting ready to win. And some fan got in the ring and pushed the ladder over with Eddie on it.
Oh my God.
And Eddie saw it coming, so he jumped off the ladder while this thing's falling. And he just, I'll never forget, he absolutely just clocked this guy.
Really?
Absolutely just laid him out with a right hand and just murdered him.
I gotta be honest with you. No, go ahead.
No, but the best was like when fans would try to charge the ring on the NWO and WCW. I remember there was this one guy, the guy must have been like 400 pounds, and he just loved wrestling. That's all he just still real to him, damn it. And he got in the ring with Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, and Kevin Nash. Hogan did nothing. He just stayed back. Hall and Nash took this guy. Kevin Nash was literally just stepping on his head, just stomping on it. No, not pulling back. This guy was unconscious. And then Scott Hall kicked him out of the ring. The guy just fell out of the ring limp. He was unconscious. It was unbelievable. They have to beef it up. They had to beef it up because it was getting crazy. Actually, even a couple of years ago on Raw, Jericho, when he was champion, some fan jumped the ring and Jericho just clocked that guy too.
I think after what happened with Bret Hart this year.
Oh my God! Well, that was a huge mistake.
Yeah, but I'm saying they probably. I mean, like,
you're thinking like, okay, at a wrestling show with beer and stuff like that, tension, people get silly and stuff like that. You've got to be on alert. But yeah, the Hall of Fame, like you're not really thinking about it. But you know what? You got to think about it.
But I have to be honest with you though. I think this. I mean, listen, I'm glad they are doing that for the superstars for sure. But the only thing is though, like, shouldn't they tell these security guys, like, be like, oh, God, by the way, this guy is going to be doing the next segment. So if he goes into the ring, he's not a whatever. Like, I feel like they should be a little bit more like Maurice at the time. Come on, like, she's not just a random person.
Right. I mean, like they had the camera on her the whole entire time.
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, listen, for the safety, I get it. Whatever. But
Andrew Elder says, I saw Regal and Dave Taylor beat the shit out of a fan in Memphis at Nitro.
Wow.
Yeah, Andrew Elder is a long time fan. So yeah, that had to be pretty cool actually. Regal and Dave, those are two guys I'd rather get in the ring with Hall and Nash than Regal and Taylor. Honestly, those were two of the toughest guys that ever got into a professional wrestling ring. Oh, thanks, Billy. It was actually RVD, not Edge, but it was still Eddie Guerrero. They got pushed off the ladder. I know that.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I was wrong. I was thinking 2002 he was feuding with Edge for a while, and they did have a good ladder match, I believe. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, the priest got tackled. So anything else that happens in this segment is just a plus. So he does marry them based on emergency powers that he received from Oklahoma. They kiss. And Lana just goes into a little rant about how that guy's boring, and after all the money she paid for him, I have no words. Rusev Day picks up. Rusev Day chant picks up. Rusev appears on the screen. It's so painfully obvious that he's in front of a green screen. But he says he's on a beach and whatever. That's okay. I thought it was going to be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm not really on a honeymoon.
That's what I thought too. When I saw that like green screen beach image, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he's coming out. So he goes, he did put together a little thing for Lana and Bob. They show some still photos from the wedding last week. Lana's face covered in cake and all this stuff. She shouts that she hates Rusev. She screams. Lashley finally tells Lana to shut up. Rusev used to be a man, but it appears that his ex-wife stripped him of his manhood. If Rusev has any balls left, he can show up next week on Raw so he can strip them off and shove them down his damn throat. And Rusev goes, no! That's not going to happen. Next week will be the return of the Bulgarian brute. He will do unspeakable things to Bobby Lashley. Robert Lashley. He will brutalize every portion of his body, and if there's anything left, it's all for Lana. And that's how they did it. That was a money promo right there, I have to say. And honestly, I thought when he said no, he goes, we're going to do this now.
That's what I thought immediately.
I thought I'm sitting here backstage.
Actually, I'm not back there. I'm
doing
here.
This right now. But just the way he said it was just so great. No.
No.
Oh, that would have been better if he did that. So great. I should make that no gif from TDE Wrestling my Facebook profile page. That'd be amazing. It's so great. So great. Yeah, I hope Rusev like just comes back Bulgarian brute, comes back with the medal from Vladimir Putin, and comes out in a tank and does all that fun stuff. And I hope after he beats Bobby Lashley, the Russian flag comes down, or the flag of Bulgaria, whatever.
So you want OG?
I want OG Rusev. I want that Rusev back, because we never should have lost that Rusev. Now, here's another segment that you would think is just a throwaway. Oh, before this, actually, Charlie Cruz is backstage with R-Truth. Congratulations on having the most title reigns in history or whatever. Something stupid like that. Like, yeah, that's a thing. Okay, whatever. Time to put the WWE 24/7 title to bed. We're good. The joke's over. Anyway, so no mention of Liv Morgan at all in that segment with Rusev, Lashley, Lana.
Nope.
No mention of her at all. She was briefly shown shoving Lana's face into the cake, but nothing. So she walks up, congratulates R-Truth, and then she says, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just heard that Rusev is facing Lashley next week, which means Lana will be in Lashley's corner. So Rusev needs someone in his corner, and that's a moment that she'd live for.
Okay, so, again, I'm going to say what I said last week. There's no... What's the point? If you look at the timeline that she was involved with Lana, she was with Rusev, so Lana was cheating on Rusev with Liv. So why would Liv want to help the ex-husband of somebody who she was trying to be with for a long time?
Correct. Right. That's like the one piece that's like, okay, when you said that last week, that blew my mind. That blew my mind because I hadn't even thought of that yet. And like, you're so right. Liv Morgan was with Lana while she was with Rusev. So,
because she said the year.
Why would Rusev want to have anything to do with her?
She said the year.
Yeah.
If she said like, oh, during this time.
Well, it was only like in October that Rusev found out that Lashley and Lana were together.
Right. So what the hell?
Olivia Morgan. Andrew Elder, Liv has crazy eyes. Like Victoria said that she's a crazy drunk girl.
Olivia is like a psychotic, I'm telling you. Yeah. Like, she's legit psycho. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get this purpose. Like, if I were Rusev and I heard this, I'd be like, bitch, you frickin' were with my wife while my wife was cheating on you with me. I don't want you involved. Go away.
Yeah. Yep.
So you can live, Olivia, you can live for that all you want. Will Rusev accept? And he probably will. And that's just stupid.
Yeah.
Olivia does not need to be involved. That's all I'm saying.
It's like, it just doesn't look good, you know. Like it's the
doesn't
bad
make
look.
sense.
You know, it's like CM Punk did have a good tweet about it where he's like, you know, if you want to like connect to people, maybe you should actually have people that can actually live the truth. Like, you know, like you have Daria,
yeah,
or what's
Sonya Deville, yeah,
Sonya Deville, you know, there who pitched this idea.
Yeah,
you know, could be a great outreach for that community, and yeah, I other people had said that, and there's always like some idiot. Well, it's like, well, how do you know she's not? We haven't seen her with anybody. She's kept her social media on lockdown. It's like, she's not. Okay,
she's not. She had. I mean, well, granted, we don't know.
You can always change, but. You know, it's not like they were like, oh well, my God, did you hear that Liv Morgan's a lesbian?
I gotta be honest with
you. She
changed,
so let's make a whole storyline revolving around that.
That's what I'm saying. I gotta be honest with you. I think that if Sonya Deville couldn't get it through, why should she have like this opportunity right now? I agree with CM Punk's tweet 100%. Well, I think it's somebody who, let's put it this way: if you're going to incorporate that storyline, maybe it should be somebody who is dealing with those, you know. Who is that is their life. That is their life.
You know what it probably is? You know, and honestly, and just because I've just watched this product for so long.
Okay.
The writers and Vince are probably sitting back there and they're like, well, Mandy Rose is hot, but Sonya Deville isn't really that hot. And, you know, let's just put two hot girls together, Lana and Liv Morgan. That's the combination. It probably comes down to looks at the end of the day. And I'm not saying. I think Sonya Deville is a very good looking woman.
I think she's very pretty.
I think she's very. I think she's a beautiful person.
I think she's beautiful. I really do.
You know, but I can just imagine, like, you know, like a bunch of old guys sitting backstage and going, you know, no, we need two blondes.
Yeah, no,
I
you're
don't care
right.
if she's actually a lesbian. We need to see two blondes.
Yeah.
Because we got to go back to Girls Gone Wild 2001.
Right.
Like. That's probably what it comes down to.
But even who knows with that too? It could be Heyman also. Like maybe he's got that old school mentality too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like a front runner for this also. So that also could be Heyman's mentality. Yeah. But if you look at it like I do, it makes no freaking sense at all.
No, it doesn't. I'm not saying it makes sense storyline. I'm just saying that's probably the actual.
Of course. I'm just saying, like, in general, you have to think about these things. And I don't know, and I don't think I'm the only person who thought about that.
Right. But and you know, like that's fine. Yeah, like obviously Lana, they're pretty women, but you know, it's just like in this culture now, like with how hypersensitive everything is, it's like. It's just not a good
I just think you should respect the community.
I think they should have more respect for the LGBTQ plus community than just, you know, making a fake storyline when you can actually have somebody who could represent the company at these events, you know, living her life, you know, in storyline form, but that's her actual truth. And it's always comes down to like the best characters are the ones who are
living
themselves
their truth,
amplified times 11.
I just don't think that for this particular thing, like, it was almost okay, granted, if you really want to get deep into it, right? Liv Morgan having that, like, she's speaking her truth now because a lot of people unfortunately have to hide who they are because of society. And now she comes out or whatever. But it's just associated with something bad, like fidelity and like infidelity and all that. So the whole thing is just like not organic, and it's just cheesy.
Yeah.
And it comes off as like trashy, too. You know what I mean? Like it's not meant to be something that I don't really know where they're going with this, but I don't think it was meant to be. It's not authentic enough for me to feel like sincerity with the whole thing.
Right.
Respect the community and have something evolve from it in another aspect.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not to say I didn't enjoy the wedding angle. I did enjoy the wedding angle. It was the right amount of trash, but you know, like the long-term ramifications of this are actually kind of startling.
Well, they're hindering it.
It's a cloud over this thing, which was never meant to be good, but it's kind of picking up. People are kind of getting into it. And
here's the thing.
But like Daniel says, like have real LGBTQ plus people in it. And Andrew Elder says, you know, Vince is so old that he thinks it's shock value to be gay still.
It's
like that's another thing, you know, like the, you know, that's another angle I didn't really even think of.
Right.
Like, yeah,
so
they kind of did use this just to be like, oh, lesbians.
Right.
Look, It's a lesbian out of a cage.
Right,
wow.
right.
You know,
right.
It's like it's not shocking.
It's not shocking.
It's not shocking.
It's not, and it shouldn't be either.
It never should. It's
no,
it's just people being people living their lives. Look,
love is love.
We're all on this. We're all on this rock that orbits around the sun for a certain amount of time, and everybody just wants to be happy at the end of the day. Everybody just wants to be happy at the end of the day, and nobody should be told who they can love and who they can't love, you know. And it's not, and their lives shouldn't be used as storyline fodder,
right,
just to make
exploit it. Exactly.
lesbians, and then like have some high testosterone individuals like, oh yeah, lesbians. Yeah.
I have more respect. Well, I would have more. I'm not gonna say respect. I would have more. Okay, not even more. Whatever. It would make sense more if Liv Morgan did what she did, right? And then Rusev and Liv and Bobby Lashley were all fighting for Lana's attention. But the fact that Rusev and Liv now will potentially team up is stupid to me.
Yeah.
Like, he should be mad at Liv Morgan just as much as he's mad at Bobby Lashley.
Correct.
So
at the end of the day, the storyline's happening. It still doesn't make sense the way they have it going. Initiator's in the chat room tonight. Hello, Initiator.
Hello.
All right. So this was actually this next segment was actually really well done. Charlotte Flair comes out, and Sarah Logan got the jobber entrance. We haven't really seen Sarah Logan like at all since the Riot Squad broke up. She was, for whatever reason, like they had no other women on the Raw roster, so she wound up in the Survivor Series match and got eliminated like almost immediately.
Yes.
But other than that, Sarah Logan hasn't done anything. So tonight, it's supposed to be Charlotte Flair versus Sarah Logan, and you would think, okay, well, Charlotte's just going to kill her and hit the figure 8 and get the win. But no, Sarah Logan annihilated Charlotte Flair for a good little while. Took the robe, slammed it in the mat, threw it at Charlotte.
Yeah.
At the end, like they brawled all around ringside. They brawled into the crowd. At the end, it was just a big boot that took her out, and that was the end of it. And then Charlotte put on her robe and walked off. But I really like this because it's like, there were like even all the segments tonight that you thought were going to be throwaway segments were good.
Yeah.
And this is like, okay, well, we got the Royal Rumble coming up. Let's put a little shine on Sarah Logan.
Yes, and that robe thing was great.
The robe thing was great.
That was great.
No one has touched the robe.
No
one.
So, and you're right. So that gravitates you now, and you think about now, Sarah Logan.
Right.
Now your mind is like, ooh, she's a potential contender for whatever. Because you're so right about before. The Royal Rumble is so up in the air. We really don't. There's nobody who you're like, yeah, that person's definitely going to be the one to win. You really don't know.
Right.
And it's nice that we see Sarah Logan get a little bit of dimensions and a push in that sense. Or even if it's not like this elongated plan, so to speak, but that's just enough to get a glimpse of like she's tough. She's and she's gonna she's gonna do what she can to win.
She's gonna whip some booty.
Yeah. And who's funny? She trains with Erick Rowan. I found that interesting.
Yeah.
They train together.
Oh my God. You'll never guess who's in the chat room right now.
Who?
Oi!
No. Stop it.
Vincent DiGirolamo.
Oh my God.
Vincent DiGirolamo in the chat room tonight. Oh my God.
Okay. Does everyone know who my brother is? Stop. Wait, or is he telling you to do that?
No, I just did that just for Vin.
Oh my God. I can't stand you both. I got to be honest with you. When Vin and my brother get together, Vin and Mike get together, it's just like it's just
we gotta get Vin on the on the show.
You guys just roast me.
We gotta get Vin on the show.
So whenever we have a pay-per-view, it's just 4 hours of just me getting like.
Well, he's your older brother. Of course, you're gonna get made fun of.
I love Vin, but I can only imagine what he's doing in the chat right now.
He's fun. So yeah, I like the Sarah Logan thing. And then here's another one that you think is going to be another throwaway spot. Drew McIntyre comes out. He's facing No Way Jose. Yeah, Drew McIntyre's been very entertaining lately. Just with his squash matches, and like I said, he's my dark horse guy. If he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, especially now that Lesnar's in it, if he doesn't win the Royal Rumble, I think he's going to at least be like one of the last ones eliminated. He's definitely Final Four for
material,
me.
Yeah.
He faces No Way Jose. Conga Line's there, murders the Conga Line to start off. And everybody's just like, yeah, all right, yeah, fucking A.
Beat up the cheeseburger.
Well, actually, McIntyre wanted.
He loves the cheeseburger.
He loved him. Andrew McIntyre, by the way, it's Andrew McIntyre.
And No Way Joseph.
No, I think. No.
No.
Yeah, I guess so, Joseph. yeah. So anyway, he kills them, kills No Way Jose, Future Shock DDT, Claymore kick, gets on the microphone. He says, he throws No Way Jose over the top rope into the Conga Line, which was great. And then he goes, "Who here in Oklahoma City dares me to do one more Claymore?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then he goes, "All right, who double dares me?" And the crowd is just going insane. They're going insane. They actually showed a group of people in the front row that were just losing their minds, just waiting for him just to hit one more Claymore kick. And he goes, he hits No Way Jose with the Claymore kick, kips up, and he goes, "I'm still holding the microphone, thank you very much." And the crowd just eating everything up that he's doing. He goes, "I always hated Conga Lines. I'm not going to apologize. I always hated Conga Lines, except for the cheeseburger. He seems like a nice guy." Great line.
Kudos to the cheeseburger.
Kudos to cheeseburger. And he says, "A not so fun fact about me is the fact that I've never had an opportunity to fight for the world title. Since everyone is too scared to fight him, he's got to put himself in the Royal Rumble. So far, we've got Ricochet, Rey Mysterio, Reigns, Lesnar. When it's all said and done, there can only be 3, 2, 1. And that's what he's been doing before Claymore kicks. So it was good.
I love Claymore kicks.
That was really, really good. So Drew McIntyre is in it.
I love Drew McIntyre. He's in it to win it.
I like it. Well, everybody's going, "No way, Joseph.
No way, Joseph. No way, Joseph. No way."
I like that.
Joseph.
I like that. Yeah. So Andrew McIntyre is he's going for it. He's going for it. And I never thought he'd be face when he was going to get his opportunity, but it's very well possible.
It's working out though.
Shelton Benjamin versus Aleister Black.
Shelton.
Nothing much.
Aleister.
Yeah, I can't. Aleister is the full name.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? It's like.
And so is Shelton.
It's like.
That's boring.
That's boring. You know what? Screw this match. Buddy Murphy attacks Aleister Black after the match. So we're doing Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black next week on Raw again, which is fine by me. They had such a good match last week. I can watch that all the time. So finally, it's main event time. And the entire show, we're trying to figure out who is this mystery partner that Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens have. I thought initially it was Aleister Black because they had knocked on the dressing room door and when Kevin Owens walked in to see it. I saw when Aleister Black came out before the main event, I was like, well, I guess it's not him. Who could it be? And then my mind started running away. I was like, well, maybe John Cena's coming back for the Royal Rumble since it's a stadium show and they want to sell tickets. And then I was like, and then of course there's people online. Oh, it's CM Punk. It's CM Punk. I'm like, it's not CM Punk. It's definitely not CM Punk. No one. I could go through 15,000 tweets that were all put out before 10:50 p.m. Eastern time, and I guarantee you, none of them said, "Well, it's a big show." Yeah, it's a big bad show tonight, y'all. The Big Show, Paul White. By the way, I think my I think that's
it's the Big Show.
I think I'm hitting the right note too.
You are.
I think I am. I'm right there. I don't have perfect pitch, but I have some pitch. The Big Show coming out for the first time to wrestle in a match since November 2018. This is the first time in Big Show's career that we've gone a full calendar year without seeing him in the ring. And it's so funny because Big Show popped in my mind like a week and a half ago. Well, you know why he popped in my mind? Because when I was thinking about New Year's and stuff like that, I looked up like a New Year's meme. And it was that meme when they had Big Show dress up as Baby New Year in the diaper with the thing, and I was like, God, Big Show is so funny. What happened to Big Show? And so I was on his Twitter just looking at stuff he was doing, and then I was like, God, is he ever coming back? Is he retired? Like, what's going on here? I emailed WWE asking if there's any information on Paul White. I did not get a response on that.
Paul White.
They don't comment on injuries and stuff like that. So I was just left in limbo thinking like, and here he is, the Big Show. Well, it's the Paul White.
It's the Big Show, Paul White.
I remember when he briefly left WWE in 2006, and he was supposed to have a match against Hulk Hogan in Memphis, this super card that Jerry Lawler was putting together or something like that. And then Hulk Hogan got pulled out of the show at the last minute, so it wound up being Big Show versus Jerry Lawler. No, I'm sorry. It was Jerry Lawler that got pulled out. It was supposed to be Big Show versus Jerry Lawler at first. No, I'm getting this wrong. Okay. It was supposed to be... I'm sorry. It was Memphis, so it was supposed to be Jerry Lawler versus Hulk Hogan at this show. I think it was at the Pyramid. Andrew Elder was probably actually there. And then Big Show, who was in between gigs at the time, came out as... Because he couldn't come out as the Big Show because it wasn't a WWE show, so he came out as the Great Paul White. So it's like I said, the Great White, the Great Paul White.
I get it. I'm not stupid.
He did. Andrew Elder did go to that show. So I think Hogan gave him an Andre body slam and stuff like that and beat him. But I do believe it was supposed to be Hogan versus Jerry Lawler. And Andrew, I'm sure, can correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But anyway, great to see the Big Show back. I'm one of those guys. I love the Big Show. He's done so much in the business. He's a legend. He's not an all-time great or anything. But he's a great. For his size, he's one of the best.
Okay.
He's one of the best to ever be that size. He's not like Giant Gonzalez. He's a better wrestler than Andre the Giant, even though I heard before the acromegaly got too much for Andre the Giant that he was actually a good wrestler. I never saw it personally. He's not Giant Silva.
Here's why I was upset.
He's not what was that guy? Dennis Rodman.
Okay, here's why I'm upset. You mean Shaquille O'Neal?
He's better than Shaquille O'Neal. Better as a wrestler.
Okay, here's why I was disappointed. Because when you put John Cena into my head, I'm sorry, when you put Cena and
I said that just spitballing.
But you said it, and it was like, maybe it really will be Cena. So when I saw Big Show, I'm like, that's still a big letdown.
Well, sorry.
Well, that ruined it for me.
Well, too bad. Jesus, get a life.
Get a life.
Kidding me?
And another reason why I was upset because listen, granted he's older and everything, and so obviously his career has changed since the beginning and everything like that. But the reason why I was upset too, because I'm like, he's the person who's changed the most as far as face and heel and whatever.
I know. He has 34 documented heel turns. I think, and Billy Hefner texted me right when he came out. He goes,
okay.
He goes. What are the what do you think the odds are that he'll be with AOP in 2 weeks?
Very likely, and I agree with Billy. I'm sorry.
So I even had to tweet out 34 going on 35.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, I don't know. It was, to me, it was a huge letdown. I wasn't excited at all. And good for anybody else who was, but I really just wasn't. Just wasn't feeling it. Wasn't my cup of tea. I'm not saying the whole segment was it was interesting for sure. It was a good choice. I'm not going to deny it was a good choice, but
I'm happy to see him back.
I was personally let down.
I know, but I was happy to see him back. At the same time, I knew that there wasn't going to be a finish to this. I actually thought that they were going to lay out Big Show big time in his return. I thought that he was going to get the stomp and all that stuff, and whatever. But no, they did do the DQ. Big Show did get hit with the chair, but he wound up hitting Rollins with the knockout punch. So I was pretty happy with that. It was a good return for the Big Show. What do you got to say about it, little one? Turn around so you can face the microphone.
What?
You want to say something?
Can you say hi? Oh, you didn't like it either.
Oh, yeah, she was, yeah. What do you think? You have something to say?
Do you want to talk to everybody?
You want to say? Show them the words you've been saying.
Say coo.
Aku.
Aku.
She's shy.
She's not shy.
So, next week, at the end of the show, they said everything that's going to happen next week, which I thought was a great idea, because usually they do this before the main event. Instead, they did it after. So it's like the last thing you see is, what are we going to see next week?
Right. So
which is kind of like what all shows do anyway. Oh, the poor Bubby.
Come on, Bubba.
So next week we get Randy Orton versus AJ Styles. We're getting Aleister Black versus Buddy Murphy. It's next to you right there on your hip. WWE Champion Brock Lesnar will be back live. Rusev is going to face Bobby Lashley with Lana in Lashley's corner and Liv Morgan in Rusev's corner. Doesn't make sense, but it's happening. And we're going to have the first ever fist fight in WWE history with Seth Rollins and AOP taking on Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, and The Big Show. A fist fight. And the show ended with Jerry Lawler going, "What's a fist fight?" It's like, what are the rules of a fist fight?
Yeah, I love. That's why Lawler's the best.
He's the best. He's the best. So I don't know what a fist fight is.
I don't know what a fist fight either is in the WWE. I have no idea.
But you know what? That is a stacked show next week. I am excited to see whatever the hell a fist fight is. But I am mostly excited to just to enjoy that entire show. It sounds great.
Yeah, I agree. This show tonight really put it over. You know, like to watch for next week as well.
This show was great. Building up the Rumble. It had great pace tonight. This is probably one of the better paced Raws that I've seen in quite some time. Everything flowed. There was no lulls. The 3 hours flew by for me.
Yeah,
it flew by, and that rarely happens. So, you know what? Like I really thought that Wrestle Kingdom was gonna taint how I felt about Raw, and you know what? It really didn't at all. Raw was a great wrestling show. It stood on its own tonight. A great wrestling show. So what does everybody say in the chat room? Okay, Nafi Sadat already. He's ahead of me. He says tonight was definitely thumbs up. Andrew Elder, thumbs up. Everybody else, what do you think? As you collect your thoughts, I am going to show what Twitter thought, and they give it 79.2 thumbs up. So we'll 79% thumbs up. I give it a thumbs up. What do you give it?
I give it a thumbs up.
What does the baby give it?
Okay, a thumbs up right now.
She gave it a thumbs down. It sounds like. Oh. Well, she's still learning. We'll get there eventually.
I think she's thumbs up for her babas right now.
Okay, well, it's right there. Why don't you give it to her?
No, that's
that's not that old.
That's 10:45.
I guess so. All right, fine.
Yeah.
Anyway, so getting back to the chat room, let's see real quick before the baby has a meltdown. Tonight was 69 thumbs up, along with the recap, 100% thumbs up.
Oh, thanks.
Billy Hefner way up. Oh, Daniel is sad it's not 69. Thumbs in the sky. Thumbs up in the sky from Daniel Shell, who always wants to give thumbs in the middle. So that's it's got to be really good. Thumbs up for sure from Demetrius. Michael Jewell in the chat room tonight.
Hi, Michael.
Thumbs up. Michael. Hi. Mashun Walls, thumbs up for sure. So yeah, universally, I think this is a thumbs up. The baby's giving it a thumbs up. And the baby's also telling us that it's time to wrap this up. Sasha Banks gives it a thumbs up. And Sasha Banks knows wrestling. So, Victoria, why don't you sign off? I'll say goodbye as well.
Good night, everybody. And I you know what? I'll probably do this next week. We'll see.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of getting back into the swing of things. We'll do this again next week with Victoria.
Good night, everyone, and have a great week.
Yes. Even the post show lasted so much more because of good quality. Yes. And also because we have a good chat and everybody's chatting with us and, we're having some fun. We have fun doing this stuff. So everybody, have a great night. Thanks a lot for checking us out tonight. We appreciate it. Thanks for sticking with us. This show's almost an hour and a half, so I'm going to wrap it up. Have a good one. We'll see you next week. Take care.